Hello, my beautiful lily pads. Welcome back to my channel. It is your friend Kunamani Karo. I am back today with another reaction from Nella Academy. Today we're going to be reacting to Dead Body Hijinks Part 2. Part 1 was very fun, learned a lot, kind of gross. But everyone told me I should definitely check out Part 2. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Any and all interactions does this channel wonders, and let's get into it.
Hey kids, time to talk
Hello.
about more cases of stiff lifting from the days of yore. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, go check it out. Or don't. I'm a YouTuber, not a cop, unfortunately. This first tale doesn't feature an entire dead body, but I still found it interesting enough to talk about. So one day in 2012, a priest was riding a train out of Italy when his bag got stolen by a trio of thieves. Inside the bag was whatever normal personal possessions the guy happened to own, as well as a small vial containing the blood of none other than Pope John Paul II. So this begs the question, why did the priest have Pope blood in his bag? Well,
yeah, why the fuck was he carrying around Pope blood? That is, doesn't that need to be like refrigerated too? I don't know. I don't store my blood outside my body, so I wouldn't know.
an important way that the Catholic Church honors saints and other venerated individuals is the keeping of relics. These relics are ranked in terms of how close they were to the person at hand. You got something that's tangentially related to a saint in any way, that's a third-class relic. If it's a personal possession of a saint, it's second class. And as for first-class relics, those typically consist of literal body parts and or fluids of a holy figure. Now for you youngsters out there, in 1981, the Pope got shot 4 times by some fascist having a bad day. People are like, holy shit, it's a popicide. Is that even a word? No, I'm okay. Oh. Say, who left all this first-class relic lying around? So to this day, there remain 3 objects containing the fine-aged poppy juice spilled that fateful afternoon. The vial was found a few hours later by police among the reeds and grass near the station, which basically means the thieves took one look at it and were like, blood? I already make this myself. Lame, and tossed it out without a second thought. Here's the thing though, that's not the only instance of old JP2 getting blood napped. In 2014, a similar relic was yoinked from the church of San Pietro della Ienca in Italy alongside a crucifix.
I mean, why would you want the Pope's blood for? I mean, it's not like he's biologically superior or anything to anyone. And even if that was the case, what would his blood even do for you? Unless you're just, like, kind of kinky, I guess. I can't think of anything else.
The fact that these were the only items taken led to 2 prevailing theories. Some people thought that, since John Paul II wasn't technically a saint yet, the relic's value would go way up once the man was actually canonized, so the thieves decided to take it now and resell it later. The other theory was way more popular with the media. After all, what use does Pope blood have other than satanic rituals? This story naturally got a lot of press, and the whole world just kind of assumed that Lucifer himself was set to return any day now. Eventually, the thieves confessed, so authorities came to the rehab facility they were staying at. They returned the cross, but when questioned about the relic, they were like, wait, what? Pope blood? Satan? Do you guys need to check in here too? Eventually, it was found in a rubbish bin on the facility grounds, which means once again, it was just casually tossed out as nonsense. You ever throw out Pope blood? Because apparently, multiple people have done that on separate occasions just in the past 7 years. It doesn't end there, of course. In 2016, this happened a 3rd time when a piece of cloth with John Paul fluid on it was taken from Cologne Cathedral. I can't for the life of me find a follow-up.
I don't get it. Like, do popes have, like, fandoms? Are there people, like, I don't even know what a pope does, to be honest. I'm not religious, and neither is anyone in my family. So everything about religion is just kind of over my head because I don't know any of it. Don't care to learn any of it, to be honest. But like, are people, like, obsessed with the pope or something? That's kind of weird.
To this story, which leads me to believe that they're just like, fuck it, Pope blood's more trouble than it's worth at this point. But if you guys can find some conclusion to where it ended up, let me know below. Now, our next story begins with a man named Karl Tanzler, a German-born radiology technologist in early 20th century Florida. He looked kind of like Sigmund Freud, except even more evil looking. On the inside, he was a pretty normal dude, other than the fact that he claimed to have visions throughout his life of some mysterious dark-haired girl. Anyway, in 1930, while working at the Marine Hospital in Key West, he met a young woman by the name of Maria Elena Milagro de Hoyos, called Elena for short, and he said, oh my god, that's the girl. from the visions I've been having. Yeah, wait, what? We were meant to meet today. We must be soulmates. What? Don't you have like a wife and 2 kids? Destiny. Hoyos was soon diagnosed with 2.
Wait, oh my god, what the fuck has just happened to her? Why? I chose the wrong time to pause it. He's married already and he thinks this girl is... Why would you get married if you thought it was destiny to meet this other girl?
A wife and 2 kids? Destiny. Hoyos was soon diagnosed with tuberculosis, which was considered fatal at the time, so naturally, Carl decided to handle her treatment, going as far as convincing her family to let him visit their home every day. Except, he was a radiologist, so even if there were reliable means to treat tuberculosis at the time, he definitely didn't have the credentials to do so. But whatever, this is the past we're talking about after all. That place was a shit show from start to finish. I'm not about to get on somebody's case for a little clerical error. In addition to whatever salves and tinctures and such doctors gave to people back then, Tansler showered her with gifts of clothes and jewelry. I know he meant well, but if I was bedridden with a terminal illness, I'd just be insulted. Like, wow, thanks, can't wait to show off this little number out on the town. Anyway, eventually, Tansler found that the time had come to reveal his true feelings. Elena, there's something I must confess.
She's gonna die.
I'm deeply in love with you.
Why is there ads? I forgot to disable my ad blocker. That is fucking sick. Ah.
I'm so glad you feel the same. Hoyos inevitably succumbed to the disease, leaving Tansler heartbroken. He just wasn't ready to part ways with his pestilence-riddled sweetheart, so he asked the family's permission to commission an above-ground mausoleum for their daughter. And since this was the early 20th century, they said, what a sweet, selfless man. I'm sure he'd never do this just so he could commit crimes against nature. Then he was like, oh yeah, by the way, could I have some of her hair too? Sure, kind stranger.
What?
Here's a bag of her hair we just had lying around for some fucking reason. Again, no red flags here. He went to visit her dwelling nearly every night for 2 years. Then finally one day he said, you know what, kid? You're alright. Say, how's about we ditch this musty old mausoleum and go back to my place? I'll take that as a yes.
What?
So we took her home in a little red toy wagon, which is ridiculous. It makes me picture him skipping around, whistling a merry tune. Hey, neighbor! Now here's a riddle for all you intellectuals out there. What do a dead body and a used PT Cruiser have in common? Sure, they both taste terrible, and you never want to be seen in public with one. Most importantly, though, they're a depreciating asset. But hey, that didn't stop old Gnarly Carly from sprucing her up any way he could. Wiring her bones back together with coat hangers, replacing her skin with wax and silk, making a wig out of that bag of hair from earlier, and soaking the body in massive amounts of perfume and disinfectants, for obvious reasons. He claimed to have been instructed to do all this by Elena's spirit, which he would apparently talk to frequently. He also did, you know, that thing eccentric loners do with dead ladies in their house, but we won't talk about that. This went on for 7 years. 7 hot and humid Florida years, until 9...
Oh my god, how does he get away with doing this to the... Oh my god. This poor girl. I know she dead, but damn, I would not want somebody making love to my dead body for 7. I should not just say that sentence. I would not want anyone to do that to my body, especially for 7 years. Oh, isn't it like falling apart?
1940, when Elena's sister saw him dancing with some lady through the curtains. She's like, aw, how cute. I'm glad that old bag of lentils has finally found love. Walks in, comes to find out it's her fucking dead sister. So the cops come, but there isn't any conclusive evidence of any flirting and philandering with the body. So the only crime Carl could have been charged with was grave robbing. Except the statute of limitations was already up by the time he was found out.
What?
So they just took the body, tipped their hats, and went on their merry way. Tansler still missed Elena dearly, but since he couldn't have her cadaver, he crafted a crude homemade effigy of the lady, which he lived with for the rest of his life. Here's the part that really gets me though. He apparently went back to live with his estranged wife once the jig was up. Just like, hey babe, I know we haven't talked since the whole corpse thing, but I've been having trouble making rent. Do you think I could come crash for a while? Sure, come right in.
What?
I'll take your coats. Would you and the demented...
She just said yes. If you leave my ass for some carcass, bitch, you ain't coming back. How desperate is she? Is she desperate or what? Like, just imagine, he's been doing it with a dead body for how many years? And then he's gonna... Ew.
Life-size replica of your long-dead lover that you left me for like a cup of tea? I'd like one. None for her, though. It goes right through her.
Shut up.
Of course, I'm making all this out to be a horrifying thing for the goofs and gaffs of it, but at the time, a lot of people read the news stories about Tansler, and many actually sympathized with the man.
What?
They saw him as the distraught, hapless romantic that he saw himself as.
How
you know
is
why
he
they had that
distraught?
compassion? Because they listened.
That just reminds me of, like, the stupid people that, like, love Jeffrey Dahmer and stuff. They, like, thought he was hot and everything. It's not Jeffrey Dahmer. Is it Jeffrey Dahmer? It just happens with serial killers a lot. When they get, like, sensationalized in the media, and then they suddenly have, like, a following, like a fan club. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? Okay, that one was interesting. I did spend most of the time on that one man, but that story was crazy. They need to make a horror movie about that. That would be... I mean, like, if they didn't include a lot of visuals, I would be interested in that movie, because it seems like it could be off the rocker. I would love it. If you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments. I have also just started memberships for the channel. If you want to support me in any way, please feel free to join our memberships. There are perks like custom emotic. There are perks like custom emojis. And if you want to be a premium lily pad, which I think is $4.99, you'll also get to decide at least one video a month that I get to react to, and you'll get a special video message from me on what social media service you prefer. Thank you for coming in today, and I shall see you guys again soon. Bye.